you tell me about your job position?
So I work for United Way of Son of Medina. I am the Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. I've been in this role for 2 months, but I've been with the organization for 5 years. The way I would describe it is really a people officer. So you really are responsible for ensuring that you help environments shape themselves in ways that respects the differences of other people, allows, for input and voices and influence to come from several aspects of an environment and a group, and then also to help build and structure opportunities that are fair for everyone.
What characteristics or personality traits would you say that are mandatory to be successful in your career?
I think empathy is one. This is a field that I'm in where you gotta have a lot of grace for people. Sometimes we all grow up having different experiences, different environments that really shape the way that we operate in the world. And sometimes when we have disagreements or conflicts, we all live different lives and we all have different experiences and we all have a story.
Share a difficult struggle or obstacle that you experienced in school or in your professional career now, and tell me how you overcame that.
One thing I realized, as I was coming up in school and even in earlier parts of my career, it always felt like, I struggled with, self-confidence, maybe not feeling like I'm good enough or that I'm, not smart enough, or even having people tell you that, you're not the right person for this job, or I think you should try a different career, or, you're not the person that we want to pick. And I think a lot of times it eats away at, self-confidence. And I think the difference maker for me was realizing how can I channel that, how can I motivate that for me to, really push myself further or redirect, my energy towards something positive. So when people reject us or, make us feel like we're not adequate or good enough, we may feel sad about it, we may feel angry about it, and that's okay. But the key is really utilizing that for fuel to really motivate ourselves to make ourselves better. And so I think just overall, that's been the theme of, when I'm faced with those moments where I don't feel like I'm good enough, how can I utilize those moments and motivate that to push me further and to be great at what I'm doing?
If you could go back in a period of time, such as middle school, what advice would you give your middle school self?
Couple things. I think the first, get good grades. When you prepare yourself for the real world, you don't realize how a lot of things that we learn in school are really building blocks for us to be great adults. And so I always thought getting good grades was more of like a penalty. But then overall, I learned that, excelling in school really reflects excellence. And so when you only have the responsibility to do great in school and, you have family, loved ones that can take care of you in the best way that they can, you kind of owe it to yourself to do your best in school, especially when you don't have a lot of other responsibilities to take care of. I think the second one would be, don't try too hard to fit in. I think it's tough to deal with peer pressure at that age. And it's a challenge because we all want to be accepted. We all want to have friends. However, sometimes we make decisions that we don't necessarily want to do, but we feel like we have to do it to fit in. And the reality of it is that you don't have to fit in. Just be yourself and you will find friends who would accept you for who you are.